Welcome to the Neal and Neil podcast. I'm Neil Ewing.
I'm Neil Kaufman.
All right, let's get to it.
All right.
What do you got going on?
So, you know how you've always said, I don't have like terrible luck, but I have pretty shitty luck. Like just little things that kept, you're like, Neil, you kind of have shit luck.
You have a constant set of annoyances
Yeah,
that seem to just
yeah.
follow you all
All
the
the time. That's all the time. I'm not saying like I've walked out in the middle of the street gotten hit by a car or anything like that. Not anything really seriously major, but I was at the pharmacy trying to get my prescription. Old lady in a rascal pulls up, has this coupon in her hand. It says $5 off any two, whatever it was she was getting. So if it was $80 for two and you had a coupon, it would be $75, right?
Yeah.
She's arguing with the guy back and forth. No, it's $5 off. It's only $5. The guy's like, no, ma'am, it's $5 off for any two.
Yeah. So however much the two cost, you take $5 off.
No, it's $5. That's what she kept saying back. Like just what the guy said. And she kept going, no, it's $5. And so this went on for about 5 minutes. Then she finally decides, oh, I get it. It finally clicked. She got it. Then she proceeds to pull out her checkbook. When is the last time you've seen somebody pay with a checkbook?
How old was the cashier?
He looked he was a pharmacist.
Oh, it was a pharmacist.
But he
had to look so confused and like, what in the hell?
Well, he looked pretty fresh out of college.
Oh, yeah. This was his first time seeing a check.
Well, he knew how to run it, so he finally.
First time ever.
This took about 20 minutes to get done, and I just was like, yeah, here's my name, here's my date of birth. He gets my bag, I run it, I'm out. Like it was not even 2 minutes. He's like, dude, I'm so sorry. I go, yeah, I get it, man. It's not you. I get it. So then we'll proceed to not even a week later. I'm trying to build a gaming PC. Can't find video cards anywhere. Apparently, there's a silicon shortage or something.
Yeah.
There's
a shortages of everything.
Well,
right
they're saying that these cryptocurrency people are buying up all the graphics cards to do the data mining and all this other shit.
You need graphics card for data mining.
I guess
Bitcoin.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Something it's way beyond my level of intelligence. I can't figure it out. And so we're putting it together. My buddy tells me that, and he goes, "But you probably want to get everything else right now because you never know what could happen next. It could be memory next. It could be whatever. He's like, the shit you're getting is going to last you a long time. The motherboard, the processors. So anyway, put in the order. Go to Micro Center. Get in the online line, the online shopping, whatever. The
online pickup.
Yeah,
line. Yeah.
It's another fucking old man. This time with a check. This is not even a week. I've run into 2 times people trying to pay with checks. So now he's got some kind of issue because it's not taking it. Now, the kid that's working at Micro Center is a baby compared to the dude that was at the pharmacy. This kid
He has no idea how it works.
Maybe 16, 17. So he takes it, he runs it through, it comes back, decline. The old man is now telling him it's his fault, and he's like, sir, I just run it, this comes back. So they go back and forth. The manager has to come. Now there's 7 people standing behind me in the online checkout line. Our line is longer than the 6 lanes that are open at Micro Center. So then a manager has to come out, and that dude looks 25, 26 maybe. And then he goes, well, sir, I don't know how he would have known this because we would have probably known it from 20 years ago when we were working and people still wrote checks. But his ID address didn't match the address on his check.
Yeah, can't take the check.
Can't take the check. It wouldn't go through. He's like, sir, it doesn't matter how many times we try to run this. It's not going to go through because your check doesn't match your ID.
That's
And
why.
he's
That's oh my god. That's why you got to order new checks whenever you
yeah.
move and all that. That's why people hate checks.
Why the fuck? Who other than needing a check to remember your routing number, your banking number, maybe some apartment complexes need a check. I don't know who the fuck writes checks anymore. But this dude's again, it took me 30 minutes to pick up my online order.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. I get checks if for like rent. If like, hey, I've got to write this huge thing. Here I can drop it off, give to you, or like checks during retail shopping nowadays is insane. Like,
I
there,
can't
there's
remember the last time I saw that, and it happened twice in less than a week. That I was behind the person.
oh wow.
You're old. Get a fucking debit card.
My hold
It
on, how
takes
how old
you-
was this guy? Because my grandmother's is what 87, I believe now, 80, 85, between 80, at least 85 minimum,
These
and she doesn't use checks. I can't even remember the last time she used a check.
they looked late 70s for
Oh,
sure.
it's just uncalled
But
for.
they looked like this. They were this color. They were my color. Okay. I don't understand what it is about old white people in checkbooks. I don't see anybody else doing it. It's the cranky old ass people. Just because they're old, you don't have to be nice to them. They need to get the fuck out of the way. I need to get my drugs,
oh my
or
god.
I need to get my computer.
Oh, man, are you advocating for some sort of like over 60 line?
No, they just need to people. You no checks at the pharmacy, at the grocery store. They're not accepted anymore.
No checks are accepted.
I mean that it's paper. There's so much fraud that happened
Oh, dude.
with bounce checks.
Oh, dude.
When we were kids, you'd hear about
Chitin checks?
Yeah,
Constantly just float them out there. It's like, all right, I can write this $300 check today.
but
They're
don't
not gonna-
cash it till 4 days from now. Yeah,
Yep. Well, no, I mean, people used to do that knowing the business's schedule. If I write them this $200 check now on a Wednesday,
yep.
they're not gonna cash it till Friday, and I get paid on Friday, so I can
Yeah.
go straight to the bank.
Or it's Thursday. The money hits my bank account Friday morning. I
Yep.
need groceries today.
I can write
I
this.
write a check. Yeah.
It'll be fine.
But this dude was picking up a computer. That's what I didn't understand. Is he had a tower. It was a machine that he was trying to pick up.
Oh, hold on. So which means he got it online and chose not to pay for it online and write
Write
a
a
check
che-
when he fucking
Yeah, I
got
guess
there.
so. Because
How insane is
I
that?
didn't even see if that was an option when I did it. I'm just so used to either I'm paying PayPal or Zelle or whatever, or it's my credit card or debit card.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. Well, I like to balance my checkbook. It takes you 3 days to balance a checkbook because you write slow as shit. If you just had a debit card, you could do all of it online. And I know you got a computer because you're trying to buy one right now. Now the old lady, I can't. Now she knew how to drive that rascal though. She
Oh,
turned
she's
that
got
bitch out
experience.
quick and then left. I was like, that's the fastest thing you've done in these 20 minutes. Anyway. Yeah,
oh
I
my
just
God.
I was like, this can't be. This does like little shit like that happens all the time. And people are like, you just don't have very good luck. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, that is
It's
true.
not just shitty luck. It's just not
It's just
good.
not. It's just like, wow, that happened.
You have the curse of constant annoyances.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's Neil's curse of constant annoyance.
God, I wonder what ancestor I had that fucked up so bad that passed it down to me. There's no telling. So
Well,
anyway, I needed to get that off my chest. So
Okay.
what's been going on with you? We
Well-
we talked a little bit about some fight the fights last week, and then we had two big things happen
yes.
this week with
Weidman.
Weidman
You hate to see that.
again.
I mean, you never. Yeah, I mean,
Not to him, but
yeah, but I mean, well, it happened.
This-
It happened, I guess, on him with Sandra Anderson Silva, and then several years later, it happens to him
it was
against somebody else.
It's almost been 10 years, hadn't it?
I think close to.
Since that happened with
Weidman's been in the UFC for over 10 years now.
I was reading an article on it, and I think he came in, and I'm probably
'Cause, I mean,
his
Weidman might
record,
have already been in there in the UFC for like 2 or 3 years when he fought Silva.
but Weidman was on the rise, Silva was on the
Yeah.
decline. Not that anything like that you would never expect that to happen, let alone it happened to Anderson
I
Silva,
know.
and then Weidman apparently it wrapped around. He was fighting.
Oy.
Um,
What Masvidal? I who? I can't remember.
I just brain farted and can't remember who it was. It was
Eh,
Hall, Uriah Hall.
yep.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, it was Uriah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why I blanked. Uriah was fighting
I
that
was
card.
I had his face in my head, but I couldn't remember his name. And so I would think, I mean, Weidman's got to be done after that. That was
No, here's
it took Silva a year to get back from that injury.
so here's kind of where I think most guys like that. I think his head would be like it sucks for him, but nobody wants that to be the end of their career.
That's true.
So here's my best hope for him is that because he's already into his mid to late 30s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So I
I
mean
thought maybe
he's not a young guy already. So I mean he's coming up on the tail end of his career already. Plus he's got to do.
He's 36. He'll be 37 in June.
Yeah. So I mean you don't want to keep doing not at least especially not MMA. You don't want to be doing that or having to do it going into your 40s. So best hope for him is he goes through his rehab. He comes back. He has his one comeback fight. Hopefully he wins that, and then he can just walk away being like, so he doesn't, because nobody wants to walk away on a freak injury like that. That's gonna stick in your head and piss you off, and so hopefully
Yeah.
he's able to fight back and get.
I could
one win at the
see,
end.
or maybe he. I don't know how many fights he had under contract in the UFC, but maybe if Dana White says, "Hey, we're good, we're parting ways," maybe
they
takes,
probably already released it.
probably, and then he have a fight in Bellator or
Yeah.
something, or what? There's a couple of other new ones.
I
That are
mean,
coming
there's
out.
Bellator, the other place, the Pro Fight League.
Pro Fight League. That I kept wanting to say Pride, but that's
Yeah.
not. Is Pride? Pride's not even around anymore.
No, so UFC bought all of Pride
That's
stuff.
right. That's right.
But ONE FC still uses Pride rules.
Which
Like,
is
except,
the knees.
except yeah, the knees
the
to
knees
the
to
face.
the face while on the ground is
I
legal.
think they don't do the first round 10-minute round like Pride used to, but they do.
First 10-minute round is what they used to do.
Yeah, Pride used
They
to
had
have
a 10-minute first round.
yeah.
How long were fights lasting in Pride? Holy shit!
I think it was like a 10-minute first round, and then I think
A
5
2-minute.
Then it was like a 5-minute round after that, and then
Those were for championship fights or just in general?
in general. Oh, I'm almost certain that's what it was. I'm Pride. I guess what would it be like? Pride
round
rules.
links.
But yeah, like it would be nuts. Like it would because you'd see Bob Sapp go
Yeah,
ham.
Pride matches consisted of 3 rounds.
Yeah.
The first lasted 10 minutes, and the second and third
5
each lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Intermissions between each round. Oh, well, they were not okay. There are 2 minutes between rounds.
Okay.
Which UFC's won.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
So-
UFC's one, boxing's one. Most other sports, it's 1 minute, but they don't have a fucking 10-minute round.
Well, that's so what. All right. Say somebody came to you and said, "Hey, here's a championship match. You can do a Pride rule, which is the 10-minute 5-5, or UFC's 5-5 minute,
Oh, I'm doing 5-5s.
even with the minute interval in between.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Because that first 10 minutes just gonna kill you, right?
Oh,
or both of you. It's just that just seems ridiculous.
I mean, here's what it is. Like you get to really that first 10-minute round is kind of a motherfucker. Cuz like
Kind
midway
of?
I mean, cuz then like and you got to really gauge your cardio in that first
That's what I'm
first
saying.
round.
Like anybody that thinks right now, I've never fought.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that I have. I've seen it. Now, anybody out there is like 10 minutes is not that long. I want you to go try
Never done
to
it.
jump rope for 10 minutes straight
Yeah.
and see if you're not tired.
Mhm.
These fat bastards out there, that's not that long. No, fucking try 10 minutes on a jump rope.
Oh yeah.
Now try getting into a ring with a professionally trained
Trying
fighter.
not to get kicked in the face.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, a 10-minute boxing match would be grueling too, but that's hands, not on the ground. You're talking like, wrestling is like, I'm tired. We've been doing this for 15 seconds. I don't want to fight this guy. Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, can we get up, please? 10 minutes of that? I couldn't imagine.
Dude, yeah, but that's why some of those pride fights were so insane. Like the Bob Sapp Nagura fight, that first round, and you could see Bob Sapp came out trying to fuck Nagura up those first 5 minutes, and then
he
those
got gassed. Yeah.
he got so gassed.
That is right. Okay, so now that makes sense because
And
I'd
I
seen
think
the
did
clips
he
of
catch
it.
him with an armbar at the end of the first round, or was it the second round?
I don't remember.
I just remember like he had him in an armbar. Bob Sapp picks him up,
Yeah,
like with him in the armbar, and like slams him down on his head.
Bob Sapp. I think Bob Sapp could have been a world strongman. Like if he dedicated to
If he
that.
stayed on the sauce.
No, well, yeah. I mean, but I'm
but
saying instead of dedicating to the fighting and the stuff, if he would have actually, I'm gonna try to actually train for it. I think he could have made a pretty good impression in World Strongman.
But the impression you get from Bob Sapp too is like those strongman competitions. Like you gotta those dudes like work hard all
the time.
year
Yeah.
long.
And the food that they eat is ridiculous.
And Bob Sapp, he would work hard. But I don't think he wanted to do strongman work hard.
Yeah.
Because strongman work hard is kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, there's Brian Shaw, world strongman.
Mhm.
Now the dude's, I mean, he's 6'8". I think he's 400 something pounds. Like,
Yeah.
but he's 400-pound strongman. That's ridiculous. I mean, some of the stuff that he's done. He's a 4-time, I think, champion. I think he has, doesn't he have that product, the Jawser size? I think
Jawser size. Another thing too, I think Bob Sapp really liked being famous, especially in Japan.
Well, yeah, he loved it.
And strongmans don't get the fame that MMA does, that just fighters in general do.
True. But I mean, that's what I was saying. Like Brian Shaw's group, he's got a group of guys that they do stuff on YouTube, and it's pretty funny. But I know that I saw a commercial of him on that Jawser size. I don't know if they make something strong enough because he was like, well, how do you work your jaws? And he's got this giant rubber ball in his mouth, and he's doing. I'm like, well, that makes sense, but
I can see that leading to like dental issues too.
Well, it's just like a mouthpiece that you'd put in.
Yeah, but I would think overworking, like if that jaw muscle is so overworked and so.
Well, you got to step up to it in levels. Like you don't go straight to the biggest.
But I mean,
ball.
is that going to cause like teeth issues later?
Oh.
Like if your jaw is just so long that you can just walk down so hard on your, is that gonna? Are you gonna accidentally start grinding your teeth at night because your jaw is so just?
I don't know. I don't have a problem grinding my teeth at night as it is, but I don't know. Yeah, simple mouth guard.
But I mean, and even still, like your jaw, I mean, doesn't have too much to do with getting knocked out anyway. Because if you get caught in the chin.
Oh no! I'm talking about just for strength.
Oh,
I got on a tangent. It was a bad segue from World Strongman to Brian Shaw. It's the Jawser size. Like I bought a Jawser size. I'm gonna try it.
I guess if you're trying to suck dick really well, the Jawser size would be.
No. I'm
trying to really.
I'm trying to get rid of this, but it's like how are you gonna be skinny but still have this? Here, I don't
You don't have the turkey. It hadn't started to sag yet.
Not yet.
Not until it's when you get old and it starts to sag. And you got the little.
No, I can't. I got
to
take care of it now, man. You can't wait till that gets. But it was a bad segue. We'll move on to the. I sent you that video on Jake Paul.
Yes.
And getting in an octagon with, I don't even know who the guy was.
The guy I saw, it looked like an amateur guy.
It looked like an amateur guy, and I bet Jake Paul, I can get in there with him.
So I bet what happened is this is when he was first thinking about trying to get into some sort of fight sport. Because here's what I think: MMA was his first thought. He was like, "Ooh, MMA is really cool. It's on the rise. Let me jump into that." Jumped into that. was
Oh,
like,
you think the video was old? I didn't see what the timestamp was on the
I didn't
video.
look at it, but it looked like an older video.
Okay.
It looked like like a 4-year-old video or so.
So he probably got in there and said, "I don't want any part of this."
He's like, fuck all that. Let me just do boxing, because that's the way. Here's the thing: you can work boxing, for years and be really good at boxing. Like MMA, you've got to work your wrestling, you've got to work your jiu-jitsu, and you've got to work boxing, and you've got to work kickboxing. Like there's 4 to 5 different martial arts that you've got to at least become just proficient at to do anything with.
It's not like the first days when you had,
as long as you were good at jiu-jitsu, you
Right,
could come in and
yeah.
just wreck guys.
I'm a whatever it is in jiu-jitsu, and that was enough. Nowadays, it's like, no, if you don't know Greco-Roman and stand up and boxing and Muay Thai and this,
your black belt doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter shit. Yeah.
So I mean,
Whatever.
it's a good thing to say, but for the most part, it doesn't really matter.
Not now. Yeah.
Because you got guys like Nagira, who was a black belt, getting his arm broken by Mir, who was a brown belt at the time. Got his black belt in the ring, in the cage after snapping Nagira's arm.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, you can still lose and get your butt and get submitted.
Yeah.
Being a black belt in
it's because you have to be a mixed martial art. You have to be able to defend against stand up ground game.
Oh yeah.
Submissions.
And here's what I noticed too. Yeah. Oh, dude, leg kicks are just brutal.
I just that sound.
Oh, just like you're basically throwing your shin into somebody's thigh, and it's as hard as a bat. So just start slamming bats into your thigh in the same spot.
What was the fight?
Again.
It was
Jose Aldo and Uriah Faber?
I was thinking Machida and Hua back in the day. When his leg just looked, it looked like a frozen steak before the fight ended. I was like, nah, man,
Oh yeah, those are brutal. And the crazy part about it, whenever I was training, is the more you work, or let's say I really need to get better with my boxing, and I just really dive in and start getting my boxing. You can only keep your skills so sharp because there's only so much time in the day. So as soon as your boxing starts kind of just really getting dialed in, your wrestling kind of starts to slip a little, or your jiu-jitsu starts to slip a little, and it's just like that's why guys like Mighty Mouse it was so rare, where like everything was like on point at a super high level, which is so incredibly hard to do.
So how did you train? Would you pick a day to do boxing, or would you say, I'm going to do 20 minutes of boxing, 20 minutes of wrestling?
It would be broken up in days. So like I would work my main focus was like, ground and pound and like wrestling. So like Mondays would be like our ground and pound practice and stuff like that. So I'd probably lift in the morning on a Monday, go in, do jiu-jitsu from like 6 to 8, and then we'd work ground and pound from like 8 to 9.
Yeah.
And then like Tuesday, it would be all like stand up. Come in, do that. I might do a little bit of jiu-jitsu before that. And then Wednesday, I would go depending. So when I was working with Paulie Ayala, I would go out to Ayala's on Wednesday and work with him for an hour, just pure boxing. Then Thursdays, it's jiu-jitsu and wrestling. Fridays, it would be a little bit of a break. Saturdays come in, it would kind of be, we'd either do rounds or work something specific. Sundays kind of toss up. I might go roll a little bit. I might do cardio.
Right. So it was like, you kind of just kept that day open to see.
Yeah. Like I would throw an extra day of training in depending on whatever I was trying to work. I'd throw that extra day in to try to focus on that. But I'm training 6 days a week.
So that's what. So you're saying like Jake Paul, or was it Jake Paul or Logan Paul?
They're both boxing.
But who? I forgot who I sent them.
Oh, it was. I think it was Jake.
Jake. I don't think. Yeah. So he's probably like, nah, I'm gonna stick to just boxing.
Mm-hmm.
When he got in that ring, he probably thought this kid's an amateur, but he's an amateur, like fighter.
Oh.
You don't have any.
Oh, dude.
Of it at all.
I get like there's an amateur at the gym that I work at now. Shout out Samson Jiu-Jitsu. There's a guy now. We got a fight coming up for him on May 14th, and I would throw him in there against Jake Paul any day. Like he would destroy Jake Paul, and he's fighting
in boxing or in
MMA.
Oh, okay,
MMA. He would destroy him. Shit, even boxing. I think he'd put up a pretty good fight against Jake Paul. He's not going out like
Askren.
like Askren would. So
That's ridiculous.
I mean, but here's I think I've realized why one of the main reasons fighters hate him so much.
Which one, Paul or
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul?
Just with the fact that yes, he talks mad shit. It's twofold. One, it doesn't seem like he has a lot of they believe he doesn't have respect for boxing because of the grind that so many guys have had to put in but before him. He's come in and in his first 3 professional fights has made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
He didn't go through the BS getting paid $200 a fight, $300 a fight for your first 5-6 fights. Just the shitty fights you have to go through to grind your way up to be able to make that purse.
So
He
it's
just came in without any sort of like boxing
nothing.
or like
Yeah.
boxing equivalent or any sort of he's just like, hey, I'm famous, so let me just jump into boxing and make millions of dollars and just squash all of these guys who are trying to come up.
So he's CM Punk, but a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean, because that's why people are so mad about CM Punk. Because it's like, it's one thing if he was like a collegiate wrestler or, you know, he had some sort of pedigree in something that was at least tangentially related. Lord, I don't know why I can't say that.
Well, he's a professional wrestler. I mean, that transitions to MMA, right?
But I mean, Jake Paul has no reason. And
He
so
had
now
nothing, yeah.
he's
It
turning
was-
these boxing matches into circus shows. Well, not necessarily circus
No,
shows, but
they are.
But I mean, he's turning the whole build up into circus, and now it's going to be if you want to really get into fighting, people are going to start looking at fighters and the build up of fights to be more sideshow, talk shit, like dunk on people on Twitter
Well,
and all that. And no,
yeah.
90% of 99% of fighters want nothing to do with that.
See,
And that's what he's turning it into.
I don't mind it if it's good, but that's because
But how many fighters are
but
actually really good at
that's
talking
what
shit
I'm saying.
that?
Like I like the good banter when it's the same if you speaking of professional wrestling, if you see a good promo of The Rock going back and forth with whoever it may be, it doesn't matter. That's entertaining to watch. Conor McGregor was entertaining to watch, but
yeah.
at the same time, he also put on good fights.
Yeah. But
If you talk a lot of shit and your fight sucks, I don't care because I'm not paying to watch you talk shit. I'm paying for you to watch you fight, and you knocked Ben Askren out in the first round. Now, the difference between
but here's the thing.
like Jose Aldo and McGregor was nobody saw that shit coming. I didn't think he was going to knock Jose Aldo out in the first round like that.
Nobody did.
But
But I
that,
think
you know,
here's the thing. If you talk to anybody who actually likes MMA and boxing and everything, none of them bought the fights. 1.5 million pay-per-view buys, not fight fans.
no.
And so he's changing over who's gonna end up watching fights, and nobody who's in the fight game now wants to cater to that crowd
That's a good
because
point.
of what you have to do in order to get them to pay money to watch your fights. Nobody who's an actual fighter or dedicated their lives fighting wants to do that.
Right.
They don't want to have to sit here and make all these videos, do all that, talk all this shit because it takes so much away from your actual training.
It's another craft.
Yeah.
You have to get good at that craft because
There's
it
only so
could-
many Connors or Chael Sonnens or just like all those guys who,
yeah,
like,
Chael's on him.
yeah, or even what's his name, the MAGA dude in MMA now, crap, you know who I'm talking about because Trump called him right after his last fight. After
Wait, why do I gotta know who the MAGA guy is?
you're white, you know
Nah.
who the MAGA guy.
MAGA UFC Colby Covington?
Yeah, Colby Covington.
Oh, Covington. Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, like, look at that.
Because-
Colby Covington. He talks mad shit, but there's only so many. There's only like maybe 5 or 6 guys. Maybe not even. Actually, not even. There's maybe 3 of those guys who are all fighting at a time who can actually do that. And there's everybody else. And
So you think it could be like I deserve this fight against such and such, but now I got to cut a promo to get. I mean, the UFC.
it's a whole nother skill that you're having to add on to fighters now
because the
that
UFC
they have to
got
learn on
yeah.
top of just fighting.
Oh, well, a lot of guys they'd win a fight, and they'd be like they'd start calling it out. Frank Mir was a pretty big trash talk. I mean, he was not big, but when he got on the mic, he was kind of
But
entertaining and funny.
yeah, but here's the thing, because you had to in order to try to get the
yeah.
next fight, because they're not going to pay you unless you start it.
I
It
know.
started probably around maybe 2013, maybe 24, yeah, about 2013, 2014, where guys had to start causing drama in order to get fights.
recognition
Yeah,
to get a fight. Yeah.
yeah, it started about then, and like so many guys didn't want to do it, or reluctantly went into it, or just absolutely hate doing it. But that's where the game's going, and I think Jake Paul is really fast tracking it that way, and I think that's another reason why, or one of the big reasons why a lot of guys really hate him.
I don't blame him because I like, again, not a boxer, but I know what I see. It's not good boxing. It's bad fundamentals.
It's early amateur boxing.
Yeah. You don't pay a minor league pitcher who got drafted out of high school millions of dollars to go pitch in the minor leagues.
Yeah. You send him to rookie ball. You send him to all these other things to make sure
Yeah.
to build up, and then you throw him out there, and which he's leapfrogging. It's like drafting a rookie pitcher out of high school, and then getting people to pay Ranger prices to come see the rookie
him,
ball play.
Yeah, and
then all the guys on
and
the
then
Rangers
pitch
are
'em
like,
for-
"What the fuck?"
and then pitch him for 2 innings
Yeah.
and then pull him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the guys on the actual major team are like, "What the shit?"
Doesn't make, but all of that talking about working out and fighting got me hungry.
Yes.
So we talked last week about our fried chicken bracket.
Yes. Yes, we do.
So we had 3 honorable mentions.
Yes.
We had Williams.
No, I think we had 2 honorable mentions. We had Williams,
Oh, okay.
and then we had Streets.
Streets.
2 reasons we put Williams on there. Williams, Dallas staple.
It's a Dallas staple and it's a Dallas chain. So
Yeah. Everybody knows Williams. We threw it on there. We'll talk about it. We'll eat it just because.
Yeah, well, you did.
And
I'll eat
then
it.
Streets, I guess with Streets, honorable mention, it's great food. It's more restaurant-y. And then at the same time, I know the manager that works there, so I don't want people thinking like, "Oh, since you cool with the dude at Streets, is that why you ranking them?" So
What about that one? I thought you said it was this one.
and then
I thought
we said we were thinking about Sweet Georgia Brown, but it's more
okay, because I was like, shit, did I not put this in our pool?
Well, Sweet Georgia Brown's more soul food anyway, so I was like,
that sounds so good.
Yeah, it does. So, but I've also heard, I don't know, I hadn't been there in so long. I've also heard that recently it's just kind of
Oh, the Sweet Georgia Brown.
Yeah, because
Well,
I remember growing up, I used to see lines around
that is true.
around the building for this fucking place.
And I've never been.
So-
Well, no, I take that back. I did go once, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah. So I mean, it could be that it's not what it used to be.
Yeah, it
So-
could be. And if some
We'll
people,
try it. It's gonna be in the NIT. That's all.
well, we're gonna eat it. So the lineup we have, we don't know when we're gonna start this yet. We're trying to map out how we're gonna go about
Yes.
knocking these off. So our first up is Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken against Henderson's Chicken.
Yes.
Then we have Hall's Honey Fried Chicken against Rudy's.
Ooh, that one I'm interested. I think that one's gonna be interesting.
Man, I'm salivating. I really am. So we got Lucky's Hot Chicken against Mike's Chicken.
Ooh.
That is going to be very hard because for any of you who haven't had this, Mike's Chicken is probably going. I haven't tried
Lucky's
most
is good.
of these. You picked out most. I've tried 2. I won't say the other one. I'll say the Mike's Chicken. That's tough because Mike's Chicken
is the front runner, man.
Yeah.
Mike's is definitely front runner.
I have had black people tell me, what do you know? And I'm like, man, just go. I promise. Because they're like, well, is black fried? No, it's actually an Asian guy, right?
Yeah.
And they went, I don't know about that.
Dude.
This place where I was getting my hair cut. And I said, listen, go get it tonight. Get the bone in. It
Yep.
takes longer, but they make it fresh.
Oh yes.
And then get some tenders too. Split it with the family. Came back. You want me to see, let me show you what this lady did to me. I didn't know what she was doing. She took a paper towel, wet it, and started doing this. And I was like, "What are you doing?" She goes, I thought it was black under there. And I was like, "No, hey, whoa, like, no, this, I'm good. I'm good." I was like, "Hey, who was it? Chappelle? You don't
Oh
like fried chicken? Was that Chappelle?"
yeah, I think so. Yes.
So anyway, all right. So we said Lucky's, Mike's, and then the last one is gonna be a little different because it's Nurungji Chicken,
Yeah.
which is a
Korean.
Korean style fried
Yes.
chicken place. That's the other one. I've had that one.
Okay.
So
I haven't
that
had
one
that one.
is real thick. It's thick, but not thick batter. It almost peels off. Like it's so good. It's sweet, but yet
See, you're tipping
spicy.
your hand already, man. See,
No.
he's biased.
I'm not.
Hold on. Who is Nurungi?
Number 5 plus chicken.
Oh, well, so we. Okay,
Wait, what's number 5 plus chicken?
that's Korean place too.
Oh shit.
No, it's fine because we literally randomized this. I had Neil write 1 through 8 in a random order, and then I called out all 8 places in a random order, and then it just so happened the 2 Korean places get matched up. In
I
the
have
first
the
round.
3 Asian places, 4, 5, 6, randomly somehow. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna need to figure out how we're gonna do that. We got to get time.
Oh yes.
Figure out when to go. Do we try to do?
I mean,
yeah, we'll discuss it.
I have an
offline.
idea. I have an idea
right.
on how we could do it.
Yeah.
So
See, that's the thing. That's the problem. You asked me a question last week. You asked me what countries would I live in if it weren't here.
Mhm.
Now, I didn't ask this, so I took it. Maybe I did. I don't know. I took it as, but money wasn't an option because I'm only moving out of the U.S. if I had money.
Yeah.
So I wrote down 3.
Okay.
But see, I didn't take food into consideration.
How could you not?
I don't know.
That was like I take the first thing I'm thinking about weather and food. Those are the first 2 things on my mind.
Ugh. I don't think I took this homework assignment very well.
Hold on. What do you have anyway? Look, we can break this
right.
down. We can break this. We can see these still might be good choices.
They're still good, but that's what I'm saying. None of these places, I don't think I can get fried chicken.
Dude, you'd be shocked.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Name them.
So I have Japan.
Yeah, you can get fried chicken in Japan.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, not like
I think
southern
you can
fried.
get. I mean, it would be more probably like panko. You can get. Is it
Panko.
tonkatsu? Tonkatsu is basically pounded fried chicken.
Well, katsu chicken. You have chicken katsu, pork katsu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that yeah. But you eat that with a different. I mean, you can. I'm talking about.
Yeah, you want some wings.
I want some wings.
Or you want to grab a leg or
I
a
want
thigh or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want buttermilk fried chicken. I guess I could always make it.
Actually, to be honest, they might.
Like I can't get flour and buttermilk.
You can get fried chicken. I guarantee
Yeah.
you can find.
Well,
fried chicken
I should probably
in
go to
Japan.
these countries first, but from the internet research.
Okay, Japan. I
Japan-
guarantee you could find it somewhere.
And then, so Japan was kind of the cultural thing. I like it. I'd
Okay.
like to learn Japanese, speak it. I'd actually tried to adapt over there. Now, the country that I'm trying to get away from everybody, I was thinking Norway, just
Okay.
because of I would want to get away. It's secluded, but it's a beautiful country.
How are you with snow?
That's the thing. I'm like, wait, if I'm equipped for it, then maybe. But
Okay. I mean,
when
you're
I'm
gonna
in-
have to be
Well,
when you get there.
Well, when I'm in situations that I'm not equipped for it, I don't do well. I was in Buffalo. It was -18. It was something happened. Like this blizzard came out of nowhere. And it probably wasn't a blizzard, but to me it was a blizzard.
Yeah.
I didn't have a beanie, a scarf, earmuffs, nothing. I had a coat and I had my slacks because it was for a job. That was, I thought I was gonna die. I was trying to walk to the client's office because it was from my hotel. It was right in Buffalo. so it wasn't far.
My goodness.
So I was walking from the hotel to the client's office
Mhm.
in the morning. She gave me the address. I was like, yeah, this will be easy to find. There's no sign. There's no nothing. I'm walking. I kept going in to these different buildings. And I finally said, look, this is the address I have. Do you know where these people are? They were like, are you okay? I was like, no, I'm not used to it. It felt like somebody had shot through my ear. You know, it was that cold. They were like, please. They had a spare scarf and earmuffs to give me. They were like, please take this. Stay in here for as long as, because it said no loitering. I was like, I'm free. I can't.
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna
Please
die.
don't send me
Please
out
don't
to
send me
die.
outside to die. And they said, where are you from? I'm like, Dallas. They're like, yeah, it's fine. Stay here. So I walked around for a couple minutes, finally got in. I was like, hey, there's no sign outside that has your company logo on it like it does inside. That doesn't do me any good. If I have to walk through the building doors and see your sign.
So you were just supposed to wander inside of a building and hope that it was the right place?
They said, don't get a car because it's within walking distance. So then I didn't get a rental car.
Oh.
But then the storm came in 2 nights before. So then I was like, wait a minute. Now I can't get a car because of everything was sold out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I can't. I
They
can't do this.
fucked you so bad.
So maybe I'd have to buy up for it. I think that's like,
Now them,
no-
I don't know like about them and chickens, but I don't know.
I'm
if you
sure I
find
could
fried
find.
chicken.
But see, that's the thing. I'm sure I could find. If I'm moving to Norway, I'm looking at it like this. I'm
How are
trying
you
to.
with fish?
Oh, I like fish.
All right, well then you
Not-
might be all right. with
Not
Norway.
that stinky shit though that they had in it. You never heard of that? It's like
Stinky shit.
it is rotten, bitter fish. I think it's a Swedish dish though.
Oh no, you talking about the fermented shark?
No, fermented fish. It's
Okay, I know that's like an Icelandic thing. That's supposed to be one of the worst tasting foods in the world, apparently. But
fermented
Icelanders love it.
fish is a traditional preservation of fish before refrigeration, canning, and other. Where is it from?
Oh, I don't know, man. Are you sure it's Norwegian?
No.
But I mean, Norway would be fine. I mean, I can't see. You'd probably have to deal with less craziness than you would
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. If I oh, it's Swedish.
Oh, it is. Okay, it's
So-
Swedish. Don't even try to pronounce it.
Surströmming.
There's like an S,
There's
a J,
dots over it.
3 dots.
Yeah, but I've seen reaction videos of people just opening up the can
Oh.
and immediately vomiting everywhere.
Is it like durian stinky or
No,
worse than
it's fermented fish in a can. Just that's all you got to think. Think of like pickled fish or whatever that sits in a can for 9,000 years, and then you open it. The smell, like this one guy popped it, and he was like, like instantly throwing up.
Oh, it just fucks up the whole house.
Then he
immediately.
tried to he said he put it on his putting it on his tongue. I'd try it. I mean, I'd still try it.
Well, if we tried, we got to try it outside
Uh-huh.
because nobody wants to ruin their house.
No, not at all.
And then, hey, if we don't like it, I bet we can see if the cats will like it.
I don't think that.
Do you think the cats would eat it?
No,
You sure?
no, they're picky little fuckers.
Okay.
And then, but we could. I'm sure I could find some. We could try it. Well,
Okay.
we might have to do a weird food segment where we eat weird food. I've had
dude.
durian, but maybe we can do durian again.
I gotta make some tongue. I'm gonna make
Oh.
making some tongue when I get back home tonight. What?
Okay, it's not bad if it's cooked right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lingua tacos are awesome.
but see, that's the thing. I couldn't get that. In
Oh yeah,
Norway.
you definitely not get
Mm.
tacos in Norway.
I would have to make it all myself.
Oh yeah.
But Norway
Start
is.
your own business. Tacos in Norway.
Oh no, man! I'd give all those people the shits instantly. You want to talk about like white people already have bland food? I can't imagine what Norwegian food is seasoned
you,
with.
You take the spices off the tacos and
But then there's no point.
Yeah, this is true.
You can't.
Okay,
we
hold
just
on.
got.
What's the third place? What's the third
Okay,
place?
well, I was gonna say Norway is. I'm in my late 40s, 50s, and I'm just done. I just want to be left alone. I'm
Okay,
going there.
You need to be amongst your people.
Yeah.
I get it.
But actually, yeah, I forgot. I did that the DNA thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It said no.
yeah. It said I thought the majority of me was Irish and German.
Mm-hmm.
Came back 21% German, 23% that German. Or no. I'm sorry, 21% Irish,
Okay.
23% of that German area ish.
Bavaria,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, pretty much. And then like 27% Scandinavian. And I went, what? Where did this come from? And I asked my mom, and she was like, I don't know. I got, hey, it's got to come from you, or it's got to come from my dad. It's got to be one of the two.
Somebody moved from Norway out there.
Well, it was weird because when I first got it, that's what happened. But then, as more people started kind of updating, it kind of started moving a little bit. But it's still that whole general area. So yeah, my people. But then the next one, if I had the money, it'd be the Philippines. I'd buy an island.
Dude, you don't need an island
But
to
you could
live
buy
to
an
ball out in the
But
Philippines.
that's what I'm saying. You can buy an island and really ball out.
Yeah, they've got like 7,000 islands in the Philippines.
I know, and there's still a bunch of them that are.
Here's
for
the
sale.
one problem with an island. It's awesome for seclusion and it sounds cool. Until you have to, okay, now you've got to have a boat to get anywhere.
Oh, I gotta have. That's what I'm saying. I'd have to have the money.
Then you got to maintain that boat.
No,
And then
I'd pay.
well, yeah,
I'm giving back to the community. I'm
well, I mean,
paying.
no. Like you'll have to pay a guy to fix it
Mhm.
from time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. But you're still gonna have to pay to maintain it. I mean, but even still, like, dude, Filipino food, awesome. Dude.
Filipino
so-
women.
Oh, but yeah, they're so. When me and my wife Sandy were in Asia, the two tiniest people that we saw were in the Philippines and in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Those are the two tiniest
And that's
people
the
we
thing. I'd
saw.
be a giant there.
Yeah, dude, I felt
I'd
massive.
just start petting people on
Oh
their
my
head,
God.
and then be like, sir, I'm 82 years old. Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. You were bald. I thought it was a baby. I'm sorry. But
You would definitely love the food. You could do so much with not very much money out in the Philippines. It's awesome.
that's what I was. and
Start
here-
raising chickens, man. Like
Oh, dude.
those chickens are everywhere. In the
Yeah.
we found out apparently cockfighting massive in the like they love cockfighting in the
See,
Philippines.
and that's probably what I'd do. I would have chicken coop,
Mm.
and I would let whoever I'd hire a guy because I don't want to do that.
Mm.
I just don't. If I got that kind of money, I'm not doing it. I'd be like, look, man, slaughter up my chickens for me
Yeah.
and take some home. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just keep up with it, and I'll pay you good. Pay you good money. That sounds great.
Yeah.
I've heard about. A girlfriend was telling me in Burma
Oh yeah. Myanmar.
that that you can get. Well, this was back in the day, but a housekeeper, $200 a month,
That
American
sounds
dollars.
that sounds expensive for Myanmar.
But
Like,
that's
cause when we were there, like we were there for about a month or so, and depending on where you are, it's not that expensive out there.
but that's what
either.
I'm saying. This was the very nice, like very very nice area.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was about to say. That sounds
Yeah.
expensive for getting a housekeeper. Like, I'm
But-
sure most other places you could do it for $50, $100
I'm
max.
Sure. I'm sure. Yeah. But I just couldn't imagine like $200 would get you cleaning, cooking, all that stuff. That's ridiculous.
Let me tell you one thing, Loki, Myanmar, one of my favorite places
Really?
that I went. Which I wasn't expecting, because my main reason for going there is because I wanted to see some Lethwei fights, which is
Okay.
basically Muay Thai, with the kicking the knees
That's
and all
the
that.
old school, like
Well, it's Muay
with
Thai,
the-
but it's bare knuckle.
yeah.
All they
That's
have-
what I'm saying. It's just the
all
ropes,
it's, yeah,
right?
it's just hand wraps. All they have is hand wraps, and you can headbutt.
Oh my god. Okay, I
Dude,
would.
it's-
I would see. I'd go watch that.
crazy to
We'd
watch.
have to go because I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so much fun to watch. Plus, me and Sandy rolled up there, and we're the only black people there. Like, we
No,
walked
yeah.
in, everybody's just like, who are these
Who the-
people? Like, I walk up, I roll up on these two guys. They're giving me beer. They're giving me snacks. I'm eating. Sandy's freaking out because I'm eating and drinking with strangers.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Dude, this one guy is FaceTiming another friend of his because he's like, dude, it's some black dude I met at the fights. And he's like FaceTiming people.
Well, because you're a giant man to them.
Yeah.
Like they probably
No.
well,
So Myanmar, not a lot of some actually fairly tall people, like all around Asia, like fairly tall people. And
Really?
yeah, I was shocked. Like way
Really?
taller than most other places around Asia and
Hmm.
Southeast Asia. I think because they're so close to India, some of that kind of coming because there's not a lot of most Indian dudes are just short.
No, I
There's
mean
not a lot of there's some, but there's not a
they're
ton of short
yeah,
Indian guys.
yeah,
Most Indians are about average height or
yeah.
so.
Well, that was my three.
Dude, I think you would really. I think out of all those, you'd love Myanmar. Fried chicken's go awesome. Their spicy food is legit spicy. It's super cheap.
Yeah,
Uh,
Myanmar or the Philippines? As I said, Philippines.
okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, you got me on a tangent on that. You
On
would like the Philippines though. You
Yeah,
would
I
definitely
think
like the
so.
Philippines.
I think
I mean,
that'd probably be my three.
you would only thing you would miss is don't try the Mexican food there because me and
No,
Sandy were like, well, this food seems fairly similar to Mexican food, so let's try this one place. No, no,
no.
no. Too
And
far away.
which it would. I mean, I would think Filipino.
It's different.
Yeah,
It's definitely different, but it's still really good. It's really like the
that's fine.
adobo, the sisig.
It's just not what
the
you wanted. You were looking for Tex-Mex.
not even Tex-Mex, just like legit,
Yeah,
yeah, Mexican
yeah.
food, like for whatever. But it was it was like a weird Tex-Mex version that
Mm,
still wasn't like meh. It's
yeah,
like going to small town Nebraska and getting like Italian food. And it's
yeah.
like
It's not the
look at where you
same.
are. You're gonna get what you get.
It's good, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, maybe I'll have to do further research,
But
and
Philippines you would like, man.
I bet.
Dude, if you got enough money, a lot of places in the Philippines, it's like if you have enough money, you can kind of do whatever.
Yeah,
Like whatever you're looking to get into, you can find it.
yeah.
So,
Well,
dude,
then I might. Well, now I just got to make a shit ton of money, and I can do that.
you'd be shocked. Now you don't even have to have a shit ton of money.
I gotta have some money. I don't have any money.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But you'd
Yeah,
be surprised how far you can go. I mean, there's a reason there's so many nurses that would come over from the Philippines
yeah,
and they would send money back home because it's like, all right, if they come to the U.S., they're making let's say 3 to 4 grand a month,
yeah.
and they send 1,000 back home. Their family's living fine. So,
Yeah. Speaking of places I would not want to live,
mm.
wherever the fuck Sweet Home is. Because have you seen Sweet Home?
yeah,
Man, I thought it was just gonna be another zombie type show, and then I was like, no, this is straight up some Resident Evil shit. That it's not just zombies. It's like they've got these tyrant things walking around. I didn't know
yes,
what the. So I was asking Jess about this, and I said, because we watched. So for those of you who don't know, Sweet Home is a Netflix show. I think it came out last year. It's a Korean horror
yeah, because you
type.
can't really call it a zombie
No, it's
show.
not really, but essentially the world goes to
It's
shit.
almost like Korean Resident Evil, but
That's
minus the
exactly
super soldiers.
no. They
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah, they've got some
yeah,
shit in there, I
okay.
think.
So Korean
But
Resident Evil,
it's essentially that. I mean, if you can just go in with that mindset and don't take it, well, no, there's not Chris Redfield. You know, what? No, take it for
the
that,
concept.
the concept,
Yeah,
and that's essentially it. And I'm loving it, man. But I was talking to Jess about it, and because we watched the train to Busan,
Train to Busan is
or
awesome.
is it Busan? Busan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Train to Busan. That is an
And
awesome fucking movie.
she went, huh? I went, what? She goes, Koreans don't do zombie movies. That was the first big one.
Oh, okay. It
And
was
then,
really good.
but then after that, they took off with the shit. They
Yeah,
started
man.
doing The Kingdom or
Kingdom was awesome.
Kingdom on Netflix
Yeah.
too, as zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Then Sweet Home was good.
Yep.
And then we watched a movie. It was called I think #Alive.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and
I saw that.
she just goes,
Yeah. The guy in the apartment.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was good too.
It was good. It was good.
That was legit
And,
good too.
and she just said when they find something and it hits, they run with it. I'm like, yeah, but they're doing good shit though. Like this is not.
Boy bands, man. When
uh,
when the Korean music industry dialed in on boy bands,
like back when it was NSYNC, Backstreet Boys.
well, no, that's when they
98
first,
Degrees.
yeah, that's when they first started. Like they were like, let me try it, let me do it, and then I think was it maybe 7, 8 years ago, like they finally found a formula and started bringing in. They started off bringing like American producers over and doing
Yeah.
stuff, and then they figured out what we were kind of doing. Then they had enough people who had been in that vein long enough, and then they just started running with it.
Yeah. Yeah, they
They
really
fucking
did.
ran with it. Like they've got B teams for boy bands now. They've got boy bands
What are
with
they like, the openers for?
so so some of the girl groups and stuff like that. There's a girl group who has like 16 members or some shit in there, 16 to 20 members. And if anyone in that 16 member team is like fucking up or not staying on top of their stuff, they've got a whole B squad that they tour around too. That they'll move up to the primary squad to do the international tours and do all of that stuff.
But they still perform, but kind of as the B team. But they
Yeah.
like the headliners, the A group. So it's your JV and varsity
Yeah,
groups.
yeah. So it's the same group. They'll do the same song, but let's say like the A group will do the arenas, the national, international
Oh,
stuff. And so if
I
they, but then they'll
gotcha.
have the group who will go do the local malls or go do like the opening of this one thing or do that thing. But they got the A team who does the big events.
So why do you know all of this?
I
Because
get
I
sucked
do-
into I get sucked into rabbit holes about
So
stuff,
you
man.
just go down. You're like looking at Korean food that goes into K-pop, that goes into the
Dude,
B teams.
I once spent 3 hours rolling through Korean street food videos.
That's there's some really good Korean street food,
But I mean, I think I watched a couple documentaries on it too, because like their
Yeah.
contracts are
Yeah.
set up all sorts of crazy. If you're in a Korean boy band or girl group, you cannot be in a relationship at all. Like if you do, yeah, dude, like because they
then
want.
what's the point if I can't be a boy band member and go around and just slaying pussy all day?
Oh, see, you can't do that.
Why?
So they have to like they want you to maintain the image that you're attainable for all the fans. And if you're in a relationship, then apparently, none of the fans feel like that, they can be yeah.
That's one of the whole reasons I would even do it, is just so
dude,
that
you cannot. I think they've got them to the crazy like in their contracts, dude. They cannot. I think it's some of them are like, you can't drink or do drugs.
So the music industry's fucking up over in Korea too.
Dude, but here's the thing. The culture in Korea is such that the talent will sign these contracts and they don't think that it's so crazy.
Because
But I mean,
it's crazy to us, but it's not crazy to them because
Yeah.
it's the norm.
And on
over
top
there,
of that too, they don't necessarily go through the same kind of grind we do here, where in order for like let's say Destiny's Child to put up,
yeah.
they had to do all that shit themselves before they even got signed to a huge label. Labels will go out on scouting tours, and just have a bunch of people audition, grab them all together, throw them into a group together,
so
and then
it's-
they'll
yeah.
manufacture their groups and be like, all right, we invested all this time. Here's what we need you to do in order to not mess up this money.
Gotcha.
And I mean, there was one girl, her and another guy were secretly dating. Yeah, some paparazzi, just caught him.
Yeah.
And so, as an act of an apology, this girl shaved her head
Huh?
and did this huge apology video.
What?
Yes, dude. Yes.
Okay.
These like girl and boy bands in Korea are no joke. They take it super
I'm gonna
serious.
I'm gonna have to ask about that. Ask Jess about that later, because geez, that was shaved her head.
Yes.
I
Oh, yes.
mean, for guys, well, if you need to apologize and you shave your head, I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. A woman to shave their head is a big. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
White, black, Asian. Women don't just.
Yeah.
No.
Well, now, I don't know if she like shaved, but she
doesn't
like
matter.
cut most of her
It
hair
doesn't
off.
matter if she buzzed it.
Yeah.
That's
And for Korean women to go
Uh-huh.
that short like
Yeah.
that,
yeah. She's probably
that's a statement.
She probably got a 3 weeks maybe from
Yeah.
the buzz, but oh no. Okay, you really got down a rabbit hole.
Dude, I get on these tangents and sometimes, and then I'll end up going deep for hours on the weirdest topics. And now it's like, all right, now I have all this knowledge that serves me
And
no purpose.
No purpose. Yeah.
Other than to like blow your mind at random times.
Yeah, like that. It's like, you know an awfully lot about these boy bands, and then you had more that I didn't think that you were going to provide.
Oh yeah, man. Shit, man. Hey, waiting for that new G-Dragon album to come out. He's back. He's back from his military service. He's working on a new album. I'm waiting. G-Dragon.
I did.
Waiting for it to drop.
I know that name, but I doesn't he have like silver hair or something?
Like
Blonde,
bleach, like super blonde hair.
platinum.
Because like apparently he was really huge. Then Korea has mandatory military
yeah,
service, so he had to leave.
Yep.
And for like 2 years, and I think he just
Mhm.
came back like in the middle of 2020, sometime in 2020. I think he came out of his military service.
So he got big because I think you have to be 18, or it's at 18.
I think
have
you've
to go.
got from a certain time.
Yeah,
You have to you've got from like 18 to like
24 something.
you've got to serve at least 2 years in the military, and he tried to push it off,
and
trying to
they're
get him
like,
to
nah,
let him
son,
do it.
come
Like,
on.
nope, government did not give a shit.
No, and they don't. Which I don't know anything about the Korean army, but I mean Jerusalem does it.
Yeah.
Too, right?
Yeah, Israel does it.
Yeah.
There's a few other countries.
There's a few other
that do
countries.
mandatory military service, which I got mixed feelings on. I mean, I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing, because I mean, sometimes there's people when you're young, you just got to throw them into them and instill some sort of discipline, or give them a kick in the ass. Because there's some people, some kids when they're around that age, they're kind of just fucking off and not doing stuff. Hell, I could have probably used it at that age.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is true. So
I mean, I don't completely hate it, and I think also it would do well here, knowing that everybody has to do it, including, let's say, some of the rich politicians' kids have to go into the military before they start advocating for war against other places, maybe.
yeah,
Because if everybody's kids have to do 2 years, and there's like no,
I don't know. If we
like
even
that's
have-
always a possibility that your kid could end up being in
Yeah,
there.
but do we have the resources to maintain that size of an army? Because you're talking three.
I mean, they give them a window, so it's not
Yeah,
everybody.
But you have, I mean, you enlist versus it's mandatory too with the people who still want to enlist and continue their career.
But I mean, it's one of those. You wouldn't necessarily have to rely on those people to enlist, because if they go ahead and do their mandatory 2 years, you're going to have some amount of retention, some amount of people are dropped off. But I think I think people would end up with more retention than they think.
I just don't know. Yeah,
So-
I don't know if
I mean, think
you're
about it.
making you're taking the choice away.
That's why it would never work here,
Yeah.
because like forcing people into people hated the draft here,
Mm.
and now you're forcing like mandatory 2 year service. People would lose their fucking minds trying to do that here. People hated when the government said wear a mask. People lost their shit trying to get them to join the military.
They can, the mask
People
thing,
lose their shit.
I was like, I don't want to wear it, but is it worth getting into a fight with a guy at a grocery store?
It's just
Because-
annoying. That's
yeah,
all it really
so
is.
that I can, I
it's
just
a
want to
minor
get my
annoyance.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm going to put a mask on. I'm going to get my Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm going
Look,
to leave.
now nobody has to smell anybody else's stank breath.
I know, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
so now stink breath people no longer have to have people judging them.
Right.
Now it's only you smelling it in the mask.
Yep.
So
Speaking of food, we've been talking so much food. I'm famished. You got something else, or you want to wrap up here soon?
I'm good, man. You ready to go eat?
Dude, I'm like, we've been
Starving.
talking about fried chicken, Korean street food, food in the Philippines and in Japan, and even fermented fish right now sounds kind of good. So,
Let's just call it. For
all right,
today,
man. Let's wrap it, and we will get back to the list that we have for our fried chicken
Yes.
tournament, and
Check
we
out our
will see.
social media.
check us
Neal
out.
_Neil PC.
That's NEAL _NEILPC at twitter.com.
I don't think you have to add that Twitter.
I don't. It's at Neal and Neil PC. Just
We'll be
follow
putting
us
out-
on Twitter.
Yes.
That-
We'll be putting out the bracket soon. We'll get it all figured out. I got some ideas.
yes.
We'll work it out.
Yes. You'll let me know, and
Oh, yeah.
we'll see you guys next week.
All right. See you guys later. Peace.
Blue suit with a blowout. If you got a body, then you better not go out. All about the money, so I'm putting on a show now.